guys, so welcome to another attacking lesson, and we start with the first position and perfectly executed attack on the file against the uncastled king on e8. I mean, you can pause the video and try to solve the problem, give you a hint, you gotta attack on the file, and there are a lot of tactical things you might see right now, and the move to start with is rook d7. Great move, because basically queen d7 loses due to queen f5. We have two pieces for the rook, the king is still on castle, we are up in development, white are going to win the game. Here, after rook d7, black played knight d7, and here white had beautiful, and they played beautiful knight e6, knight sacrifice, f takes e6, queen e6, and unfortunately for black, they're completely lost. King d8, bishop g5, king goes to c7, queen c6. This is actually lost, bishop f4, that's checkmate. So here they didn't play king d8, they played bishop e7, and now rook e1, threatening checkmate and threatening to take this bishop, queen c5. And now, we really wanted to play bishop g5 in this position, but unfortunately now this queen blocks g5 square from our bishop. So what move kinda distracts the queen from 5th rank? And the move is b4. I would say it's not brilliant, but great move. And then knight f8 was played, counter-attacking our queen, and again white had simple this, but they decided to go queen g4, keeping an eye on c8 rook and protecting this, because queen b4, there is a pin on e file, so black loses the queen. That didn't of course happen. Queen c3 was played, attacking the rook on e1, and again, white decided we are going all in. Rook e7, king e7, bishop g5, chaf, king d6, queen d1, king c7, bishop f4, and even though black are up in exchange on the rook, they're completely lost. King a7, queen a7, rook c7, bishop c7, queen a1, bishop f1, and checkmate is coming very soon, because after bishop a5, rook f8, queen b6, king c8, queen c6, king d8, bishop c7, king a7, queen bishop b6, queen b6, doesn't matter, all leads to checkmate, bishop b6, that's checkmate. Let's move on to the game. Let me show you the whole game. Let's go. Right now I want to show you attacking masterpiece by the first world chess champion, Wilhelm Steinitz. He plays e4, e5, knight f3, knight 6, bishop c4, bishop c5, Italian game, and instead of going for castle and playing Deutsch Gambit, he didn't know this existed at that time, he plays usual c3 and d4 plan. Takes, bishop b4, bishop d2 is possible, but again Wilhelm went for knight c3, which is again was the most popular response. d5 takes, knight d5, and now castle sacrificing the pawn, and after, let's say, takes, there is queen b3, and actually black are in huge trouble and they're losing the game, so that's why black went for bishop e6, protecting d5 knight, bishop g5, attacking the queen, and now again queen d7 was possible and it was the best move according to Engine, but his opponent played bishop e7 after takes. It turns out that again black won't take this bishop with the king because it's dead lost. They decided to go for knight e7 after rook e1. It turns out there is an absolutely immortal pin on e file and black just can't do anything, because then white have clear plan. They go queen e2 trying to take, but even here black are still holding queen e2, queen d7, rook c1, and here instead of playing king f7 maintaining an equal position, because basically black escaped the pin on e file, black decided to go for c6, and now white played brilliant d5, and the idea of d5, free up this d4 square, and then knight jumps to e6, knight jumps to f5 everywhere, takes, knight e4, king f7, knight e6, and now again rook c7 is being threatened, rook c8, queen g4, and what you're about to witness is something absolutely insane, because after g6, skittish knight g5, And then, you know, king has to go back to protect the queen. And now again, rook e7, and the idea basically is if king e7, let's say, there is rook e1, king d6, queen d4, king c6, rook c1, checkmate. So here, you know, black go for king f8. They think if queen d7 or rook d7, there is rook c1 checkmate. Unfortunately, back rank is not protected yet, so white need to come up with a different solution. They play rook f7. Again, queen f7, rook c8 with the check, so actually white are winning. Now king g8, and we still can't take the queen. We play rook g7, and again, if takes queen d7, if takes rook c8, white are winning. And now rook h7, and here actually black resigned. But why? Let's say again queen h7, rook c8, clear. If king g8 was played, now again we go rook g7 back, and now let's say king f8, there is actually knight h7, and now black either have to go here, but then queen d7 checkmate, or this queen d7 we take the rook, so it's actually losing. And let's see if king h8, again we don't take because we just can't, because of rook c1 checkmate. We go queen h4 check, and now king g7, queen h7, king f8, and white are checkmating. Black side, queen f8, queen e8, knight f7, king d7, queen d6, checkmate. Let's move to the next position. So in the starting position here, f2 and f7 squares are the weakest on the board, so it's very important to make sure you're trying to attack it or you're defending it the right way. So in this game, e4, e5, knight f3, g6, bishop c4, again right away attacking this f7 square. Knight e7 was played, knight g5, pressing this f7 pawn. Knight e7 of course is a mistake, nobody plays it. Black played d5, takes, knight d5, and here queen f3, basically setting up this little trick. Knight on d5 has to go, and will take on f7, so black decided to take on g5 because the knight was simply hanging. After bishop d5, it turned out that f7, b7 square are both under attack, and white have an advantageous position, and they ended up winning the game. So let's analyze the f2, f7, specifically we'll analyze f7 square attack. e4, c5, Sicilian defense, knight f3, d6, d4 takes, knight d4, knight f6, knight c3, a6, bishop b2, queen c7, bishop g5, again some rouser. This one is called Opasensky variation, knight d7, castle, e6, and here white played absolutely outrageous bishop h5 move, which doesn't make sense at the first glance, but basically the idea is to play knight e6 because f7 square is attacked, it's been pinned with a king, and let's say black are not careful enough, but they just didn't care, knight e6, and the game is over. So they played queen c4, they're trying to protect this, but now again that didn't stop white from playing knight e6, and after queen e6, knight d5, it turns out, let's say, if knight d5 takes, e-file is open, I mean, it's just over f4. No, it's very unpleasant position to play with black pieces, so they're actually in huge trouble. Actually, queen e1 is the better option here, because knight e5, f4, and then, you know, I assume it has something to do with rook being on f-file and still attacking this f7 square. So king d8 was played. Bishop g4, again, it cannot be taken because it's a pin. Queen f5, f4, queen f4, bishop d7, knight f6, and black have no good options, and they just resign because basically they will either take on exchange or do some other discover attack and win the game. And let's move to the final game of this episode. So e4, c5, knight f3, knight f6, again we have Sicilian f5, knight d5, knight c3, e6, takes, d4, you will see a lot of sacrifice in this game, bishop g5, queen a5, c3 takes, and now it's, I mean, computer is saying d6 is good, but, you know, white decided to go for bishop d3, takes, castle, and again sacrifice the whole queen side, but, you know, the king isn't developed, it's in the middle of the board, it's uncastled king, so white have huge advantage due to huge lead in development. Knight f5, bishop d6, and here again, king is uncastled, f7 square, all at once, knight f7 comes, and it's hard to stop white's attack. King f7, queen h5, g6, and basically, you know, we have this pin here. You know, it's very easy to see bishop g6, and white wins the game. Queen h8, bishop f5, rook f1, and now basically queen a8 check, queen f6, rook e8, rook h8, bishop e4, and now just takes. And after d takes e4, queen f6, black resigned, but let's just analyze a few moves. Let's say king g8, queen g6, and again king h8, bishop f6, checkmate. If king f8, queen d6, with the check, white won the game. I hope you enjoyed those games and those positions. I'll see you in the next How to Attack series episodes. Bye bye.